Hello, hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Litwick, Lampert, and Chandelure. What I would assume is probably one of the most popular Gen 5 Pokemon out there, so I have high expectations for today. Don't let me down, internet. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with this one. I'm going to save the Ranker one, which is technically the top result. I'm going to save that for the end. But going on in this one, because Ranker doesn't explain shit. Boo, just as a Mario Ghost. I mean, you could use that for a generic Ghost type nickname. I don't know... I mean, I know there are some Ghost types that can learn Explosion, Gengar being one of them. You could use that as a playoff joke if you wanted to. Well, what I was thinking was Poe from Zelda, who is usually seen carrying a torch. So Poe would actually probably fit Chandelure better than Boo would if you wanted to take a different Nintendo enemy and turn it into a nickname for this one. Now, Lumiere just by itself literally means light in French, but according to Google Translate it fucking doesn't. It's English, but whatever. I guess you need the accents in order for it to work. But Lumiere is the name of the candlestick in Beauty and the Beast. I had this written down, I saw it in a previous thread, and I was like, ah, yes, that'll work, that's good. And then I forgot about it, so I had to look it back up, and I was like, oh, okay, that was why. But yeah, I'm fine with that one. That one will get a special pass. Candlejack is another one I have written down, and I fully support its idea as a nickname, and also I want you to know I had planned that joke as early as generations ago. I've been looking forward to this episode just so I could make that joke. But no, I fully support the idea of Candlejack as a nickname. I like it. I think it's good. That's one I have written down. Even my brother suggested I use it, so I was hoping we were going to be able to stumble across it in today's episode. But yeah, the description will help clue you in if you hadn't seen the show. It's alright, I don't blame you. It's kind of a weird one, where it's like, I knew it existed, but I don't ever remember watching it. I have Blacklight written down, but Nightlight works just as well. Both of them can work in the sense of, a dark or a ghost fire-based Pokemon, which this is going to fit the best, because it's not just a fire-based Pokemon, but a light-based Pokemon. Isn't that a fun sentence? So, yeah, I'm fine with either one of those as a nickname for this guy, too. Fun fact for you. Because of the whole "it's lit" joke, that actually made me hate Litten when Alola first came out. Memes are annoying, and I hate all of you. So I used to work with this guy named Kendall, and he was making fun of this girl Jennifer, and Jennifer said, "Shut up, Candle." So Kendall. You don't care, that's not relevant to this show at all, but I just thought it was really funny that she called him Candle. I also actually really like the idea of naming it after a candle brand, and that was not something I even thought of coming in, but that's really funny to and it's gonna kind of lose its value when it evolves, probably. But the idea of naming it Glade or Yankee, that's just funny as shit to me, and I really like that idea. Also, if I were any good at making video games, I thought it would be cool to make a candle-based enemy where in order to defeat it, you light its wick, and then you watch it kind of melt. If you've ever played Spider-Man for the PS1 or N64, you know how you use the fire webs on the symbiotes and how they melt away like that? That's how I envision them dying. But I always thought that'd be a cool idea for an enemy in a video game. Now, again, this should be very easy, and there should be a lot of good nickname potential, but we're talking about this guy. So you gotta set your expectations as low as they can go, and then even lower. And then think about the worst thing in the world, and then a little bit past that, and that's where this guy is hanging out. So, classifier? Alright, I'm not about to read through all of it. I'm just gonna take it at face value. It's some Japanese film. This guy's a weeaboo, so whatever. If you guys think it fits or whatever, you think it's any good, tell me. I have no opinion on it because I have no knowledge on it. Wildfire we've seen in the past before. Generic fire type nickname. Arcanine was a popular choice for it, and I mean, I think Arcanine's a better choice than this guy, but that's the point of generic fire type nicknames. You put on whoever you want that is of fire. Heat Blast, which is not a good nickname at all. That's like a Final Fantasy spell or something. Inferno, which is a move, so that breaks that rule, and even then, that's a terrible nickname idea. Willowween, which is not fantastic, not creepy, but cringy combination of Will-O-Wisp and Halloween. I'm actually just going to acknowledge Flicker. I mean, it's a very simple name, and I don't exactly think it's extravagant by any means, but just for the sake of something being actually different, Like, most of the nicknames we come across don't feel like they kind of have this simplicity to it. So I'm okay with it. I wouldn't use it, but just for the sake of highlighting it, here we go. And then this is something I don't exactly remember at all because I saw Wreck-It Ralph once, like when it, not quite when it came out, but when the film wasn't old. And I don't remember this at all, but sure, I guess, if that strikes your fancy. I also feel like I'm kind of okay with the idea of Tim Burton as a nickname, or Burnton as he chooses to turn it into a joke. Just because Tim Burton is usually associated with creepy stuff, so I mean, yeah, just for the sake of it, why not? Alright, now we're at Ranker, because, you know, Ranker doesn't explain shit. Azula, there's one that we see all the time for fire-type Pokemon. Avatar, you get it? Cool. Moving on. And then also down here, John Wick. I didn't exactly see that coming, but do you get it? It's a candle joke off his name. So there's another one for you. Okay, the idea of solar flare is a pun. I enjoy the idea that you tried. I don't exactly think it's the best. Wickless Cage, I mean, if you really want to make someone hate your Pokemon, that's one way to do it. Ghost Rider, we use that one for our Alolan Marowak, but I mean, there's, I guess, another thing. I don't really think it fits without the skull theme going on, but hey. And then Litwick. They're finding more ways to incorporate wicks and candles into this Pokemon's name. I'm actually kind of surprised. I like Danny Phantom. That was a good show. I'm unsure how I feel about it as a nickname. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't know who I would give it to. I have considered the idea of using characters from Danny Phantom as nicknames before, and the closest one I ever came to was just the Fright Knight's horse, which was just named Nightmare, which was dumb, and I hated it in the end. Fire Hazard we actually see quite a bit as a generic fire-type nickname. I'd say the Tumblr idea probably provides it the most, but I mean, that's fine. I'm not necessarily sure why it's got 28 dislikes. It's not the worst thing out there. There's plenty of other garbage in this fucking list that is way worse than this. Human Torch might be better for something human-shaped, but hey, you tried. Anyway, reminder, we have gone through the entire page of Google. We just ended with the Ranker because I kind of expected to see a lot of the stuff on Ranker on other sites, because that's usually how it goes, is you find Ranker and then you find that same nickname elsewhere but explained, so that was just my idea. And I mean, I don't really feel like we followed too much outside of Lumiere on this thing. Anyway, the spreadsheet actually has more than a single suggestion. Chandelure has broken some Unova records. There has been more than one page on Pokemon.net. There's more than one suggestion on the spreadsheet. This thing's popular. Cool. Mr. Burns. That's dumb, but it got a smile out of me at least. And then these two I don't necessarily... Well, firstly, Wax isn't interesting at all. And then C, I don't necessarily get that. I don't know what this is. Never heard it. Moving on. We do have a single comment suggestion of Bonfire, which we've seen before as a generic fire-type nickname, and, you know, I'm fine with that. I don't necessarily mind that. I don't know, I just feel like in terms of that as a nickname, like, it's not necessarily the strongest, even as just one that you could apply to anyone. Like, I feel like there's other fire-type nicknames you could give to anyone that outrank that by a lot. So, it's an idea, but it's just not one I'm personally attached to. I didn't write any of these down, but out of all of them, I mean, the ones I thought were worth a damn, Lumiere, that's okay. Candlejack, Blacklight, Nightlight, and then honestly, I think probably the one I just thought was the most funny was just the idea of Glade or Yankee Candle. I really like those. Those were my favorites. But Candlejack's probably the one I'm just going to side with. Candlejack is easily the most popular one out of all of them.
What are you going to do with us?
I don't know. I've never gotten so many at once before. Not a very bright group, are you?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing.
If I'm honest, I'm actually kind of surprised that clip is as popular as it is and it is known as it is, because hell, I didn't know about it. I mean, I guess it's a meme joke on the internet, so there's that. But whatever ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. Keep an eye out for Candlejack. He might just come and